This conference will now be recorded.
Perfect.
You got it.
All right, 4:15, starting, call to order.
This is the capital planning committee and it's October 15th. We have a whole bunch of new request forms, which I.
But first, we're gonna approve the minutes of the last meeting.
I just wanted to make one quick statement, that I made a mistake on the form. I just want everybody to know, it should have said FY 2027. And that's the only statement I wanted to make.
That drove down and that's.
Yes. So. Next on the agenda, sir.
Okay, the minutes of September 17, 2025. Has everyone had a chance to read them?
Yes.
Yes.
Are there any changes, additions, or corrections?
I have none.
Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes
So
of
moved.
September 17? Do I hear, I'll second it. Any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, 3-0.
Mike has made a point of making sure we don't take time to talk, let other people talk, don't talk over each other, which we've been doing, not you. And he wants us to stay in the right order on the agenda. So he's really cracking the whip.
We're gonna do it, let's do it right.
Okay.
Now you can make your opening comments that you always want to make.
That was the one comment I made. I went, after I started looking at all these sheets, I said, wait a minute, that's 2027, so it'll be corrected from here going forward, but I apologize, my mistake. All right. What?
Okay, next, the status on all the forms that have been turned in.
Okay, we have copies of the forms for each member of our committee. Made by staff today, which we appreciate. And Steve's probably getting a good chuckle out of the fact that now's where we gotta figure out how to load them all into a spreadsheet and make it work. So I got here early today to make sure that I could figure some stuff out, and we got partway through the idea. Eric and I were just talking. And the idea here, what you have in front of you is, this is what we're receiving for the preliminary request, so that we want each one to be, we want to be able to load them in like that. We did notice that nobody was really filling out the numbers in the top corner, trying to come up with some sort of sequential number system, which is okay, but we've got to make that work somehow in the process. So.
Can we stay on that for just a minute though? Because I was wondering, is that the responsibility of the individual submitter to keep their own sequential number?
Doesn't matter if we renumber them, as long as we give them to them, or we number them in sequential order, whichever
Right.
ones. Eric sent us 10, we're just gonna put 27,
Well, what I have here is 2027 DPW 0001.
that would be minutes, but yeah.
Okay, so we'll supply the numbers after we get the request with no indication of priority ranking, just, those are just numbers. for the.
The only question is, when we kick it back to the departments, they will have to, if they wanna keep track of their request forms.
Yeah.
They might wanna write it on the request forms.
Yeah. So, lesson learned for this year, we'll, we could, renumber the request forms for each year, like have a set of 20 for each, so that they're done or not.
But we don't know how many they're gonna submit.
All right.
And I'm also thinking like an individual, like Esther put in one for a study.
All right, so-
Acoustics.
So we'll add the numbers and then we'll go from there.
We'll have to play that one.
Eric and Linda, you follow what we're talking about. Just numbering the request, because if we move them, they don't get funded. Next year, they're gonna stay with the 2027 number. But you may want to give an updated estimate, or in 2 years, you might want to give an updated estimate or something. So to track the information, if the number was just on there somewhere. So you could easily say, oh, this was 2027-01.
Yeah, so not necessarily a ranking, but just a.
Not a ranking,
Give it an
yeah.
It's
identity.
just a number to identify the
Right.
information.
That's in the system under that number.
I kind of thought, because it was green, that it was like a committee
We would add it.
only, that
Okay.
I didn't even look at.
Interesting thought.
When I looked at it, it wasn't clear
Entirely
that we
clear.
wanted, that we
And
wanted.
I will,
So, yeah.
okay.
So we'll issue.
All right, so we have a whole bunch of requests, obviously, to go through. And our goal was to begin to, we looked at last year's spreadsheets. And the thought was, do we add to them immediately, or how do we do that? So what I did was I took the chunk of the spreadsheet where all the input was going, copied it completely the way it is, so we can put them in here and then load this into the spreadsheet, so we're not tangling with last year's master list. This is in the same format as the master list, and we just copy and paste this right in.
So you're saying we will build that master
Right.
list,
We'll be able to put them on
Based on
this and then
this,
add it to the
not-
master list.
not ask them to compile and
No.
whatnot? Okay.
Maybe we'll get to that someday, but no.
Well, last year they provided a master spreadsheet. Did
We
they?
did.
I did it
Yeah.
with DPW stuff.
Right.
We didn't have much other stuff. I just gave them our 5-year capital.
Right.
So if we're gonna load it in, are we gonna load in just the immediate needs? Or are we gonna get somehow year 3 information to load in?
Well, there are spreadsheets, this is the master list of how it's set up, so we can, I guess the way that we can handle this is, we can build, again, in the same format, we take it, we'll plug it in, and then we can decide, we'll put 27s down here, 24, 25, 26, 27, we'll have them all in the master list. But still, the question is, then then we have to decipher what's gonna move ahead to be requested for funding. So we're just organizing, basically.
How are you handling yours 4 through 5? Because we haven't even requested that.
Right, where do we get the information? Where do we get their needs
Right,
long-term?
that's the next request.
You know, looking down. So are we gonna at some point say, what are we gonna say?
Well, that should be an abbreviated ask anyway.
Right.
Because you don't have all the
Right, so.
details.
Just a title and a
Right,
dollar kind of thing.
Long-term needs past.
Why isn't it just the form and don't fit, just fill out the 4 boxes? Because then it gets a name, it's a number, it's in the system, you guys have it. It's just,
So,
roof on high school. I don't know, did you submit the roof on high
Yes,
school?
he did.
I'm sorry, okay, so I gotta think something better.
yeah, I mean, I think
Something that's out 5 years, 3 years.
you're not gonna want to duplicate all the information on the request forms in your spreadsheet,
Right,
Right,
just the basic.
It's a subset.
right,
And then updating years 2 through 5, anything that was in there that's getting pulled into the first year request. So yeah, is it just a spreadsheet that you have?
yeah, there are gonna be different forms of a spreadsheet that are gonna be used. One will be what was given to us this year, one will be everything put together, and then I guess the third one will be the long-range report, predictions or requests kind of.
Makes sense.
I'm not sure I'm following. I mean, I have spreadsheets, are the old ones that projected in
Right.
the next, I don't know if it was 5 years out, but what if we just gave you this form and put in, like, you guys have us
This is your,
ranking,
this is their. Right.
you guys have this ranking of low, medium, high, 1 through 10. What if we had a year request? So the next, I send you the stuff I have and I figure out, well, all right, I actually could use this in FY 28, 29, what are we up to, FY 30? Is that bringing us for
So
5
I
years?
guess once you set it up the first time, it won't be a big deal.
Yeah, but what happens, but there's gonna be a lot of reshuffling. So,
Yes.
because there's gonna be way too many for the first 2 years.
Right,
And those might start pushing the stuff that's further
Oh, yeah,
down the
we've got
line.
a lot of catch up to
So,
do.
yeah, so we have to make a decision of,
which,
like, I think we should be prioritizing all 5 years. And that can be as simple in years 4
Yeah.
and 5, just saying, hey, it's in year 4 and 5, and that's it.
yeah,
Yeah, the problem is, if we use the forms for all 5 years, then somebody has to take the information out of the forms, type it into this Excel sheet, and it becomes labor intensive for the committee.
Yes.
And it also becomes labor intensive for big departments like your.
Yeah.
I mean, Fire department that has 4 requests, they don't probably care. So how do we get this established so while you're doing year 1 stuff, you're also updating years 2 through 5 without it being
that's,
a huge lift?
I agree that it's a lot of work the first couple of years, but once it starts clicking, if this thing gets built right, the wheel should be spinning, and you guys should be pulling stuff off and putting stuff on,
right.
and then going ahead and adding to it. Like,
Right.
I actually,
Go ahead.
I would prefer to have a raw data spreadsheet where every project is listed in there, just the basic information. Because then in Excel, you can just sort it.
And that's what Linda had put together.
Yeah, that's what you have on your own.
Okay,
Yeah.
Right, and I have mine.
Instead of
They
making,
broken down into 3 or 4 different categories.
Right, and then you could, you could create Excel spreadsheets with
yeah.
forms,
Look at
say,
that, yeah.
for FY '27. Another spreadsheet with all the
yeah,
forms
just
for
sort
FY
it and then just
'28.
export it.
So,
There's a million ways you could sort this stuff, that's.
Yeah.
go ahead, William.
The thing that I worry about and is not to burden somebody with all of this information for something that's 4 years out. So to me, year one, we need to know what's a replacement, what are all alternative funding sources, all that kind of stuff. But year three, really, it's almost just I'm gonna need a truck and it's gonna be 60,000,
Or shouldn't we,
so,
why don't we make a
so
protocol
I don't wanna
that says
burden,
that then?
yeah, I
You
don't
want
wanna
a completed
burden
form.
anybody with
But
filling all
what's
this
the-
out.
What's there's no danger in having as much information as possible, as early as possible.
Yes, there is,
Okay.
because it's taking up time on getting detailed information or quotes or justifications on something that's 5 years from now, and that data is going to change. In 4 years, when it gets moved up to an immediate need, that's when you want accurate numbers rather than estimates. That's when you want justifications.
I would make the point that it doesn't really make a difference, because if you don't have accurate numbers, you're not gonna know how to prioritize based on the money we have available, either. So you need to have some balance point in there.
Yeah, but it's gonna move from $1 million for this in 5 years, that's all the information we need,
Right.
to years 2 and 3, it's,
All right.
it's
I
like
buy that.
it's like you go from a guesstimate to an estimate
Yeah,
to,
you convinced me.
an actual contract
You don't need
estimate.
to know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what
that
the
makes
actual
sense.
cost is.
Right,
Get a
right.
guesstimate.
Right.
And you don't need to spend your time or Donna's time or Eric's time worrying about the fourth decimal place 5 years out.
Can we make a note
Maybe.
to put an explanation, I'm sorry, I'm going back, so on that form, so that the number is filled out in future years?
Yeah.
That's one, I just wanted.
Yeah.
And then two, why don't we highlight the boxes that need to be filled out as a minimum to be considered for future years?
I think
So
that's
just
great.
name,
Yeah.
number,
Yeah.
and, 2 words that say, kind of what it is, or up to 5 words, if it's.
This is a devil's advocate type question that I'm not trying to rock the boat here. It was almost brought up at one point that we would ask them to fill out a version of the spreadsheet and hand us the spreadsheet instead of doing the forms and the spreadsheet. If everybody's using the same spreadsheet that they're filling out, so he has 10 requests and she has 9 requests, that simplifies the inputting side of it quite a bit. And they're just filling out the numbers as they're filling out their requests. It's not a lot of extra time. Then it would be extra time. Once we have it in this form, we have to go back and redo it. And I'm not trying to give you guys more work. I'm just trying to ask if there's a way that makes sense, so that we're getting something that is already in a format that we can just, as you said, we have the data, we can just load it in.
I would, if it was me, I would set it up so that you had the spreadsheet for all 5 years.
Yeah.
Year one, have the department heads update the spreadsheet for their respective departments. All year one considerations have to be accompanied by a form with additional data.
Right.
It's not going to be put into a spreadsheet that's your own, for your own.
Yeah.
use.
I almost think, we should do a pre-screening. We should actually ask for the 5-year preliminary information first.
Yes, all 5.
In September, then
Good idea.
sit down and meet with you guys. We can at least say, these look like the 1 to 2 year stuff.
Yep.
Can you go back and in a month,
Yep.
send us completed forms?
I would just ask for at the same time. Give us your
That's what I was
5-year
getting
plan.
to.
One in year 1, year 2 things, have the form accompany. Then, why not?
Do we feel like the committee was anything drastically moved last year?
Because otherwise,
You're gonna have to reinvent the wheel every year.
every year you're reinventing the wheel, but logistically keeping track of it. I'm already concerned that you didn't get all of the requests that I received. I need to go
Pretty sure
back,
we did, but.
yeah, I need to go back and,
All right, so-
emails.
So I think this idea of, organizing the files by year as opposed by, is a good idea, because that will help us prioritize where we're at.
And if you set,
One, but there has to be somewhere where we recognize that the submissions this year, and it doesn't really matter what priority they are, we have to have a list of what was submitted this year somewhere in the system.
but if you set up the spreadsheet for departments to use standardized, then you can cut and paste the information.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
You don't have to retype it. You don't
Right.
have to retype everything, you just, you know.
So when you're filling out a form, you would plug it into the spreadsheet at the same time. Which is the minimum amount of time it would take,
Why don't we think about this?
because we're here now. That's
Well,
all.
it's, you know,
Sorry, it's all part of the learning curve to get this right. We're in good shape, but we're just gonna plug and chug.
No, there was a lot of, I think fundamentally and idea-wise, we're in good shape.
Yeah.
I think from the amount of administrative work for us to take this, clean this up, get rid of the projects that were
Yeah.
funded, call out the projects that might be duplicates by accident,
Yeah,
number all the requests.
yeah.
Then that master spreadsheet, I don't know, if we cut it up and give it back to the departments to look at, you know.
Sounds like a 4-hour stint on the spreadsheet to get everything all cleaned up. Right, which is just, I'm comfortable enough with it to be able to do it, but we should just make sure.
Okay.
So, as you said, this year, we're gonna be doing the heavy lift to get the year-by-year piece organized. That's just a big lift, there's no way around that. Once you have a framework, then it's just shifting numbers in, year 1, year 2, year 3, and shifting things around as to where they need to be.
well, you have all the year one, we believe. There may be some stragglers coming in late.
Yeah.
Hopefully I didn't miss any emails.
Wait, you're saying year 1, are you?
You have all the
Oh, I had a
year one
question.
forms.
You mean fiscal year 27?
Yes, year one,
Okay.
right. You have all of those. So
Okay,
why don't
wait,
you
wait.
just ask the department heads to submit, standardize an Excel sheet.
Yep.
And ask the department heads to fill out the
Yep.
5-year plan, including year one, but just the basic information that you need.
Yep.
I don't think that's a huge lift.
Because once it's done, it's done, yeah. So here's a semantic question. And I know we're talking about identifying them with numbers, but there's a difference between year 1 and FY 2027.
No, it's not.
Okay, that's my question. Is there a difference between year 1
If you're working on the year one plan, which is FY 27 through FY,
But if year 1 is FY 27, then we have a separate recommendations for FY 27 are not year 1, they're just recommendations.
No, I wouldn't even call them year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just have to come up with a capital plan that includes 27, 28, 29, 30, 31.
just call it that, yes.
Just, so we should be calling, this is the FY 27 round.
But you already have FY 27 request sheets with detailed
Right, that's
information,
what we're getting at.
which is what you need for your decision making. Go
Right,
back to the department heads and say, we want
okay,
FY 27, 28, 29, 30, 31.
to the best of your knowledge.
With
Right.
instructions.
Here's the format we want you to fill out this Excel sheet.
Yeah.
It'll be emailed back, and then you can just cut and paste and make individual tabs, DPW, school,
Yeah, yeah,
fire, police.
Yeah.
Communications, whatever. And then all of that just goes away, basically.
and it's all part of the file then.
Can I get a detail into what you're thinking here and say, all right, for fiscal year 29, what on this form, what are the 3 or 4 critical things that you would want to know now for fiscal year 29?
Now you're thinking the way I'm thinking.
Okay, because I don't want a lot of time spent on 29 stuff
Right.
today.
Right. But even year one at this, or FY 27, you have
We have that,
that. So
Right.
on the Excel sheet, you don't need that duplicated.
okay.
Well, they might be nice to do it for us, we just have to decide.
Well,
We can get into that.
maybe create a
So-
separate FY 27.
I would say, no, because I think we're gonna sort and we're gonna wanna sort that, we're gonna wanna prioritize it, and then we're gonna wanna ship it back to everybody. And so next year, they can keep track of what was approved, how stuff was prioritized.
And then
I'm
send it
assuming
back.
at some point, we're all gonna be using the same,
That's what you need.
recycling the same
You need
information.
you need to be able to send something out, have them update their tabs, send it back to you.
Yeah.
And whatever that year one becomes, whether it's FY 27, 28, 29.
Yep.
The forms accompany it.
So I would make a recommendation, Mike, if I can have the floor.
Please.
We need the request number.
Yep.
So we'll have to put a little explanation on there about how to fill that out.
I like your idea of instructions.
Chaos. We gotta manage the chaos.
We need the requested fiscal year.
And where is the requested fiscal year on?
We would add that.
Well, it either needs to be added or clarified, because the request date, we should just put request year instead of date.
Request fiscal year.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then amount of the request.
Yep.
And the item project identification.
and for that, you're looking at just a title or a simple,
We on the right track?
In
We are on the
the
right
space.
track.
In the space.
no, I've got, are you leaving right now? Can I jump off of this?
Yeah.
I hate to do
You're
this, but
violating your own canon.
I am. There's a number in here of air conditioning units from Max Bach, air conditioning units from Eric, refrigerators and walk-ins from Eric. A lot of refrigerant air conditioning capital
Yeah.
requests.
Are you thinking group purchasing?
Well, I'm thinking some kind of I don't know, is there an opportunity for us to take advantage of the fact that the police department needs it and buildings and ground needs it and somebody else needs it, and it's
Combined
not
with-
just split system.
Yeah, so do a.
It's
do like-
walk-in coolers.
But that's,
That might be different because that's.
Well,
that's in the purchasing. We're just prioritizing.
Yeah.
That's not even in the purview of this committee.
Is there a way for us, from a capital standpoint, to think of that differently is what I'm asking you. Think about it.
Yeah, let me think on that. I think from a purchasing standpoint, like Eric said, it would make, if we have, air handlers in two different locations, maybe doing a joint bid. I don't know if we can do that or not.
But
We
it
have to
struck
talk
me,
about
it
that.
struck me that Freon related, refrigerant related stuff is hitting us from left, right, and all over.
I think we can talk about that from a
Okay.
purchasing standpoint. I don't know if there's a crossover between, a HVAC unit on a rooftop versus a kitchen, that's probably two different
I don't know.
things, but we can talk about that.
Okay, just,
I don't know if it'll work or not, but it's a good suggestion.
that's where my brain went.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
mean,
I'll-
group purchasing is, you hope that there's savings in bulk, so sometimes that works, Good idea.
Back to where, before the tangent. So
I
we've
was
got
gonna- I think
request
that's the
number,
five.
the request and the amount and the title, the
And the-
item.
Project identification. You have that form right in front of you, so. To me, I'm calling the request number 1. So they need to fill out lines 1, 3, 4,
5 and 6.
5, and 6.
Okay.
So there's only actually 4 pieces of information. But let's ask Mr. Weiss to put up there, department request costs. So
Which one do you want?
priority provided by the department. So I believe that, I don't know, do we need this is on the master.
Okay, no, I'll go back to the master. This is not the master.
Well, no, this is a summary sheet that which our master should look like.
No, this is what I put together for the initial input of 2027, but we've gone past this. at this point. We can-
Okay, well then go back to the master. Whatever spreadsheet we're going to revise to make it the semi-permanent circulated.
This is one version of master.
Okay, can you go up to the columns?
Hang on, this is the one you're talking about.
Yes. So do we actually need the department up there?
Shoot, I got it.
Because if the request number is up there, the request number has the fiscal year that it was requested, and it has,
Yeah, I think we're asking for too many pieces of information that are similar in this year and first requested and all that, so we gotta clean that up a little bit.
yes. And does priority need to be? I guess priority needs to be.
Yes.
So they didn't say buildings and grounds, they didn't say public.
So under their department, everything went under.
Yeah, it was under department committee, Max put buildings.
So we
and
might
grounds,
just
Chris
have to
put
have-
PW.
I get it. We might just have to have you screen, after we throw all the information in, you might have to screen just to make sure we allocate them to the right person, just for ease of.
Oh, wait, no, I'm wrong. Look, so here's.
Why isn't that there?
And he wrote buildings and grounds
Okay,
up there.
yeah.
So Max did,
Next to that.
Yeah, I
And then-
just didn't
and then-
fill out the green part.
Chris did PW.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you look at the bottom, we included, Public Works included transfer station, wastewater.
Esther, are you there?
But you-
We're getting nothing on the
you have-
television
those are
screen right
capital-
now.
Those are enterprise.
Yeah, we may end up getting sheets of expenditures that then aren't gonna be funded by anybody, but under your own enterprise. But it was discussed that all capital purchases be included in the master report.
Okay.
To select
So
people at the
Roland
end.
filled out forms, I
Oh.
gave him these, but I didn't include them because.
I wouldn't worry about them right now, because we're not gonna
because we
prioritize
talked about them
those.
last year and they didn't, and then it was confusing
Yeah,
with the
Oh.
wastewater.
we're only gonna do the
Yeah, it's
high,
back
we're
on
not gonna
now.
do the whole form. Particularly if it's coming on the enterprise funds, I think we just do the
Mountains.
5. You know, the 5 boxes.
Beautiful mountains,
Yeah.
but mountains nonetheless.
Got a new
Hang on, it's probably booting back up at this
Compressor,
point. It's booting back up. now.
wastewater treatment plant that was $300,000.
Hang on, kids, give me one more
Just gets a
minute.
name and
Might have
number.
lost everything.
You know, and we'll code it some way where it's spent, or it's not going to the selectmen for funding.
Yeah, that's what we're
In
doing.
my mind,
You're gonna take care of finding,
we're
getting
gonna
us right to
issue
the right place?
An annual report. And the report says.
All right, if you can do
here's
that,
the
that'd be great.
priorities for
It's saying
this
presenter
year's
password to me.
capital.
You'll take care of that?
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
And Rich helped with that fund. Separate from that, draw a line, here are other capital projects that are being funded elsewhere. Whether they're being funded from operational or enterprise or grants, they're being done.
Can we
and
continue?
people need to
Yeah,
know
she's
that.
fixing us up. We can continue.
But from a transparency standpoint, we want to list the that Roland is getting a $300,000. But he's funding it separately.
So you
So
want
let's-
these this
Hold on,
year?
I slightly disagree with that statement.
Eventually, not now.
Before our report goes to the selectmen in the spring.
Yeah.
And I would disagree. I think we need a master sheet that has every project on it. Because we want a grand total number.
Yep.
Because we think for the education of everybody that's involved, people need to understand the amount of capital that needs to keep a community running. And the.
Hang on, I'm gonna-
Understand, you know,
Well, yeah, I mean, I had to come and argue why I needed to increase disposal prices
Yes.
for, at the transfer station, because I have capital that I need. So I can do all that. I didn't.
we don't need it right away.
Right now, we don't.
Yeah.
Right now, we don't. And
Right, so let's go backwards a little bit. What are we asking our illustrious department heads to do? Because we got the submissions, but we're also talking about giving them a piece of a spreadsheet to fill out with that, so we can combine it with what we've got. Right?
Yeah, I mean, if you send me a generic.
Would you like my
spreadsheet, we
recommendation?
can fill that up pretty quick.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure we're all on, that was a direction we were going, and I just wanna make sure.
Well, does everything go to Steve and then Steve sends it out? We don't ever send it out directly to the departments. right?
Oh, yeah, we can send it to Steve and Steve. can-
No, I'm just asking, what's the
I
procedure?
think we can make direct requests to department head with the spreadsheet. I don't,
And just CC Steve, we should just ask him.
yeah, okay, good question.
I think we should talk in general about the request forms that they have.
Yep.
That they've submitted.
Yep.
Just to help that it's good and we understand it.
Okay.
Not in a lot of detail, not prioritizing. I have some additional questions on them. And then I think we're gonna need to fix that. We're gonna need to come to a conclusion. Do we expect to do that today of what that initial spreadsheet looks like? And then send it out to the departments.
I would
for
like
them
to have
fill
that,
out.
I think that's what we need to do, yes.
to do that, do we need their time spent? I think we can do that without.
That's
having
what
you
I was
guys
thinking.
sit
That's why I was like, let's ask them a couple more questions and let it go at 5 o'clock.
That's what I want to
Continue
do,
work.
yeah.
And I guess my only question right now to them, and it's to this committee, is I thought we were going low, medium, high. And somehow on that request form, numbers got mixed in with the low, medium, and high. So they gave them 7s, 8s, 6s,
That's
5,
all
3,
that
3,
confused
2,
me.
1.
I got confused on
And
that.
I thought we were simplifying it to, we were gonna have low, medium, high. And then,
Numbers.
I thought they, each one had to have a ranking and
yeah,
1 through 10. This is my number 10, this is my number 9, this is my number 7. I was getting a little bit.
See,
well,
I
let's
only
talk about
submitted
that for a minute, because I think in future years, I'm sorry.
I actually, go ahead.
I think in future years, we go low, medium, high, we get all this information and we have a pre-screening. Then we have one meeting each with them at a separate meeting maybe where we dig in for an hour
Right.
and really break down what the number is. I mean,
I put that in there because sort of based on when we had done the research where the state had some guidance documents for capital planning committees, there was some talk about ranking your priorities. And so I tried to make it as simple as I could with a 1 through 10 thing. I wasn't trying to confuse anybody, I was just trying to say, but without definition on it, I guess it could be confusing.
yeah, I forget which community you sent to us, but one of those communities was very sophisticated
Yeah,
and like had a weighted matrix and
Yeah,
hard
that was-
points versus
that's why I just went
how
1
you
through 10.
graded it, came up with a final number, and then there was,
But I think it's funny that
reconciliation.
you did it by the numbers and you said that confused you.
Well, and I
So-
thought I was only supposed to submit what I needed this year, so everything was a 9 or a 10.
Correct.
So
Right.
if I did low, medium, high, you all would have gotten high from me. High rankings.
Not me, yeah.
So we have these sheets, we're gonna
So
work with these
just-
sheets.
Do we want to kill the high medium, or ranking, do we want to rank the numbers? Do you feel like that's really beneficial?
I thought it was actually gonna be easier, but I guess I was wrong, so I don't know. I'm not trying to be wishy-washy,
But the ranking, if we're going to submit to you a 5-year plan, then we're ranking already.
Yeah.
By giving you FY 28 is gonna be
More.
medium,
Yeah.
So in the
or 5.
context,
So,
when you filled out a number, or you filled out low, medium, or high, was that in the context of only with the things that you were submitting for this year?
yes.
Or was it relative to the previous years?
So,
Just for this year.
That's a good idea. We don't actually need a ranking.
That's what I'm thinking.
If
Maybe
they're
we
giving
just
us every
start.
5 years, we're all gonna assume, I would assume year 1 and 2 are high.
That's the information I got. Give
And
me
I-
your 1 and 2 a year and then rank them by your most important or most needed. That's the way I had gotten the information.
Mine were all important.
And so what would you suggest we have instead?
Nothing.
That's kind of an interesting point. Let's go back to that in a second. I don't think we need anything. If we're getting all 5 years,
Yeah. We're
let's just as a committee, no. I mean, I only feel like
Well, they're gonna
we
rank
might
by
hope-
year already.
No, they're classifying them by year, but their reasoning for putting them in by year is based on their own priority, saying,
So you're already telling us what's the high priority. for
by
this year.
putting it in 27, that's high priority. We may just, I have a feeling like, once every 2 years, we might take a 28 and say, no, it should be a 27.
Well,
Once every 2 years, there might be one amongst the whole community that we say should be advanced.
But also, don't forget, I mean, we're constantly dealing with things that break, so something I put 29,
4 years.
all of a sudden is now a 27.
Oh, hold
Yeah.
on, wrinkle.
So,
We're not changing the numbers. So let's go back to a dump truck, that's the easiest one. That's the one we like to use.
That's the example too.
Yeah.
I'm not there.
So you put in a dump truck for FY 27, we don't fund it. Next year, it doesn't change number. Its own number is still FY 27.
Right.
That's
Right,
what
so
we
it still needs a
decided.
ranking of some sort.
you're getting a B6, one of my, this year's is one that wasn't funded last year.
So hold on, because its number is 27, can we just assume, because it wasn't funded, it's still
Yeah.
her highest priority? And I think if there's nitty gritty of moving stuff
Oh.
around, I think that's eventually, that's the point of having them sit down.
All right, so,
One good sit-down meeting when all the information's in here.
so you're saying initially we rank by year, by the
Yes,
year it's been submitted, or whatever. And then after that, we'll have to revisit and rank in accordance to need as we go through the years. If certain things have come on the list and certain things have come off the list, that is the ranking by year enough to prioritize it or not?
I don't think that's what he's saying. I think
I was saying that, but now there's another issue.
Because I'm kind of
While
stuck
we're
in the
thinking
middle, how do
through
you
this
figure that
is,
out?
how do we?
Yeah.
How do we then decide between Eric's and
Right.
Linda's?
Whoever bakes us the best apple pie, I guess.
We can all have our choices, but I'm just saying, last year we did that, right?
Yeah.
We moved stuff around.
Yep.
Is that gonna change your mind? If, let's say you have 10 projects that you put in this year, and some years you get 3, some years you get 5. Do you really think, if it's only 3 or 5, are you gonna move around the priorities? Or is your department people's
It may
Thinking
just keep shifting.
that it's just, they're always going 1, 2, 3. The
Well-
most important things come up, and then the first ones they do, they're gonna get the lowest number, they're gonna get the lowest year. So when
You've got AC units that didn't get funded last year. Those are what I gave you this year. You've got a dump truck that didn't get funded last year. That's one of the highway ones. So, yes, but you know what's gonna be interesting? Once you guys rank them, give them a
You know what?
number, you're gonna be able to see
yes,
automatically, okay, this, most likely, this department is gonna just need to shift this stuff because it didn't get funded last year. Or something broke that I now need to move that was low up to high.
Yeah, once you have that.
But
Yes.
your numbers are gonna be,
Yeah.
give you a lot of information
yeah,
if you put the year on it.
Yeah, if it has a year on it, it seems like once a year we have to revisit the entire sheet and see if the priorities are the way we have them to be, that you're comfortable, we're comfortable. But that doesn't change what they need to submit. That's our overall ranking,
Well, the
of
first
which
two-
is the most important, which is the least important, and what's in between.
I think this year they fill out the form, just for 27.
Right.
But I think in future years, we should get 2 years worth of forms. And then years 3 and 4 and 5 are just numbers.
Right.
Well, we could talk about that in the future, but this year.
But what I'm saying is we already have 24 through 26 or whatever it is, and 23 through 26, whatever the numbers are.
Well, we're gonna have 27 shortly.
Right. So those all have to be ranked relative to each other.
Yeah.
Hold
Once you
on.
get moving.
I'm gonna suggest that on the form, we delete any reference to ranking.
I'm not so sure yet.
Excuse
I'm not so sure
me,
yet.
I'm still talking.
Will you pause?
I'm going
Let
to
me get 3 seconds.
suggest that we remove any reference to ranking. The mere fact that you're filling out this form and submitting it as a need for this year automatically makes it a high priority number 10 item. At that point, we're gonna have a dozen from Linda, we're gonna have a dozen from Eric, we're gonna have 2 from the fire department and 1 from the whatever. We're then gonna sit down with Linda and say, all right, you submitted this dozen. I need you to order them
Then we rank.
1 through 12. That's when she puts the priority in her own mind.
Yes.
Eric does the same thing. We then go through and say, all right, I need to compare a number 3 from Eric versus a number 2 from the fire department and a number 3 from Linda, and figure out which is the one that Belchertown needs the most.
I'm with you. I'm just adding more information to this. So in FY '29, someone else is in the seat, but this is the information that they're gonna have. They're gonna have an FY '26-10 DPW project,
Correct.
plus a 27 DPW/3. And so the automatic ranking that we're thinking now is gonna get slightly more
That's what I'm saying. Every year we have to-
difficult in the future unless we always assume that last year's, is it safe to assume that last year's unfunded are going to maintain its ranking for the departments unless they raise their hand?
So,
Yeah.
so let me jump in
You
here.
say yes.
I say no.
Well, then you would need a ranking.
It would be, it could be an automatic assumption. That would make the most logical sense. But once the department comes to you and talks about, okay, well, last year you didn't get your dump truck, is that still like number 1 priority this year, or did something
No.
bigger break that you need? And then, but
That's what
I
I'm
think,
saying.
from the number and the year, you guys can gain, you or whoever's in these seats can gain a lot of information on, well, the DPW didn't get that
So-
in FY *27, we assume in FY '28,
Let's assume town meeting is.
they want it.
Are you done?
Yes.
Now you can talk.
Mr. Chief.
Let's assume that town meeting is June 1st. So we go into town meeting, we have this priority list of things to be funded, everything gets funded. Then on June 2nd, we have this list of projects, before we're getting next year's projects, that we've hopefully had in some sort of order that says, okay, it's the most important one is still at the top, and the least is up, whatever, the least needed one is still at the bottom. Then we're gonna add in the next year ones. So we have to make sure that what is in the spreadsheet in terms of the projects that are in stays ranked most of the time. So we know exactly where, when we add the new stuff in, where that is. And once we rank it once, re-ranking it year after year after year won't be hard because we won't knock off so many things from the list that it'll devastate the list. We'll knock off 3 or 4 things and we'll still have the majority of the list there.
Can I make a recommendation that we change the ranking to high, medium, low, no numbers, and just leave it? And I think there should be a column on there, whether it gets filled out or not, because we don't have any information about what happened in previous years. So if last year, we had asked you for 5 years, right?
Okay.
In a perfect world, if we're gonna use numbers,
Yeah.
she wouldn't have to do anything this year. She would just do 32. She wouldn't even have to look at 27, because she did 27 last year. And I'm kind of thinking that, okay, well, maybe 27s would be close, but your 28s and 29s, those were guesses of stuff, and new stuff broke, and new stuff needs to be expanded.
So as long as the master list is prioritized to some extent, then we're good to add the new stuff on the top and keep going with it.
Can I give you a different scenario?
Sure.
Eric has put in last year, high priority, I have to change the asbestos tiles in Cold Spring.
Yep.
This year, and we don't fund it. This year, we say, well, we're shutting down, so Cold Spring. So all of a sudden, its priority goes away,
Right.
okay? The mere fact that something got an older year and didn't get funded doesn't automatically
Right.
make it a high priority this year, because buildings change, situations change.
True.
Linda has to have a dump truck. She didn't get it, but you know what? They found a workaround. And it's no longer a high priority,
Yes.
okay? So I don't want us to assume because it's old, it automatically.
I think from a pre-screening standpoint, I think that was Linda's point before, for pre-screening and for a quick look at throwing stuff on the spreadsheet and getting it, we can kind of assume that the numbers will have some meaning.
Right.
But I totally agree that
Things change.
a third or 50% again, particularly maybe in year two, it's gonna be this 10% change, year three, it might be a 30%
Yes.
change, year four and
Right,
five, it
that's what
might
I'm
be a 50%
That's what I'm
change.
saying, so.
Well, and it
Right.
can give you a general overview of the health of the ability for Belchertown to invest in its capital
Right.
projects. If you're still dealing with projects in FY '28 that weren't funded in FY '26, those,
That's one of the reasons why I wanted to.
yeah, and for me,
Yeah.
when I had a dump truck that was on there from FY '24 first request, now I'm like, whoa, like, this is serious now. This
Right.
dump truck's been on a request list for 2 years. I need the dump truck.
Right, you've
So
got,
it's gonna help me argue to you.
Yes, yes, it will.
okay, so what we have, well, I am fine with the low, medium, and high
Okay,
going forward.
we'll go with that.
So between, we're going to immediately send over to our department heads a spreadsheet format that they can fill out with their requests, so we have both the request and a spreadsheet from each department. And then we're gonna take that and put it together.
Can I ask
Yes.
departments one question each before they leave?
Yeah, and then,
Yeah, I
yes,
think we should work on our form for a bit more.
yes. And you guys are comfortable with that?
So you want all of our capital requests, is that what I'm understanding? You want them all?
For 5 years.
For 5 years, and then we'll figure out the ranking.
That gives us a base.
I think that's a good start. You have them all, you
Yeah.
know what we're up against, and then we can.
Well, you've already given us 27s,
Yeah.
the forms, so.
I just was looking at Chris's submission for the dump truck that we didn't get last year, and it says first year requested since the inception of time.
Yeah. When you said a project is done for 10 years.
Yeah, so I
Well,
I didn't even see that just till now.
I really appreciate the humor, but then you have to wonder, does he really need it if they've been going long enough? What was the largest project that, do you know what the largest project you submitted was?
This year, the
Yeah.
most expensive,
Single project?
I think, well, we've got a couple at 100,000.
Mine was the Javis Brook roof, but there's grant stuff that kind of fuzzies that.
Yeah.
You know, we have to apply for a grant that's, even though I'm applying for it this year, it's a need now, but you know, it's not.
Are you doing a two-piece on that? I didn't know, are you asking for designer fees too?
I think that's something I need to look into.
Yes, I know.
So I'm applying for accelerated repair.
Yeah.
And so January when it opens. I'm wondering. if we
Do you
should
need
spend-
a designer before you file the?
I don't know. Not that I'm aware of, but.
I don't think I need that. Yeah, my understanding of how that works is you have to have somebody on board, but you don't have to complete everything. Like,
They
you
have a
work with them,
list.
but you're still gonna have to.
We approved the list, which you'll have to recuse yourself here in that meeting. Well, maybe not. They approved a list of 20 like contractors for roofs. So you might just go to that.
Oh, well,
Is this the state or is this the,
The state, the MSBA.
Yeah.
We approved 20 to do roof repair, accelerated roof. We did 20 to do the split. There's another word for it, to do the HVAC. Maybe splits another.
Yeah. other heat pumps. Yeah.
Do you have any other questions for Linda and Eric, so we can get them on that line?
I mean, they're welcome to stay. This is,
Eric,
$200,000 projects.
do you have any questions for these two before they leave?
No, I'm just saying if the work you're doing for us.
Okay.
All right.
I do, Eric, if you can just,
yes,
in going through yours, I'm not sure exactly what buildings each, so you're referring to, so the 2.5 million, that's Jabesh Brook, for the roof, right? I got 650,000 for tennis courts, that's the high school. Central office is the one off of Maple, okay? Central office off of Maple, is there a, well, we'll get into that in detail later. Existing HVAC unit auditorium,
Chestnut Hill.
oh, that's Chestnut Hill. Okay, bleachers, original replacement for 80,000. Jabesh Brook,
Actually, there was one for Jabesh Brook and there was one for Chestnut Hill. Yeah, Jabesh Brook is, I think, is 150.
oh, so this would be Chestnut Hill. Yeah, there are two in here. Cafeteria, HVAC,
Chestnut.
walk-in refrigerator, Chestnut Hill's already listed there. BHS is listed for the HVAC. Jabesh Brook, I see these are beginning to get 9x9 asbestos tiles.
That'd be Jabesh Brook.
Sure that's not Cold Spring?
No, not anymore.
And then now we've got 145 for bleachers.
That's Jabesh. That's the one that's been on there for 10 years.
Since the inception of time.
Okay, traffic flow, Jabesh Brook is listed. Jabesh Brook windows. Maintenance is, or truck is just general. Burglary system. 20,000 for burglary system,
Swift River.
Swift River. Probably shouldn't advertise that. And the PIN number on that one is 123. Swift River walk-in freezer. Thank you. Thank you. Just for my own mind, I needed to understand that. That's all I got. Thank you.
Okay,
We're good.
thank you.
I'm making some edits to that.
see you next time
Yes,
in a month or so.
okay.
And the next time we meet, that's when we're gonna wanna sit down and go through each of these
With this spreadsheet there.
in kind of detail and really understand why she needs the dump truck or
Now,
or why
well, how
he
much-
needs the asbestos
I have a
tile.
really important question. actually.
How much lead time,
This is, I'm thinking the same way you are. Go ahead.
how much lead time for meetings do you folks want?
I'm good with a week or 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks is fine.
Should we make it that they're filling out the spreadsheet for 2027 and then do the 5-year thing after that, or should we make it all?
We need everything at once.
Okay.
And I think we're gonna wanna have a meeting, go over what we've been sent.
Yeah. All right.
So
Just to save time.
you're gonna tell us what you need.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's what yes.
Okay.
We're gonna become a fully functioning committee over the next couple months. You're getting some
Well,
stuff.
there's 17 different ways to scan a cat in this thing. Oh. Do you know what the cat is?
No, because I was just thinking about the derivation of that, because I have an idiom book at my house, and now I gotta go home.
Anyone know what the cat is? Because it's not my feline pets.
Do you know what it is?
Because it always
looked this
offended
up?
me. I'm like, I love cats. It's a catfish.
Oh, catfish.
Catfish.
You don't like fish?
No, it's just, it's from like the south,
Yeah,
From like
yeah.
Mississippi or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, New Orleans.
Yeah, well, I looked up some of those too, like, there are a couple that you think were offensive, but
Yes,
then when you look at the derivation, they're not.
Yes.
They're like they came up.
yeah, it always bothered me. I'm like,
Yes.
oh. But anyway, it's catfish, that didn't bother me anymore. Okay,
Okay.
you leave anything
Thank you,
behind?
guys, we appreciate it.
So if you tell me you're going to Missouri to do some noodling. You know that.
Not canoodling.
No.
No, do you know what noodling is?
Wait, where am I going?
Catfish, by sticking it.
Yeah, they go in the water.
It's in the river. The catfish latches on, and they pull them out and throw them up on shore.
Okay.
It's one way, it's one way to catch a cat.
Yes, yes,
Huh.
yes. Then they have to skin it.
Okay.
Have fun.
Thank you.
This one I was already.
All right, so we've done. Now, find the spreadsheet that they will fill out. They've already given us all the data they need for fiscal year 27.
Right.
But they're gonna fill it in anyway.
They can fill it in.
They're gonna fill in the first 5 boxes.
The first 5 boxes for fiscal year 27.
They're gonna fill in for all 5 years.
Fiscal year 28, they're gonna fill in the 5, 29, 20. So what you're visualizing then
Yeah.
is a 5-year skeleton of data.
Each year could be another page in the
So-
spreadsheet.
Again, here's the complicated part, which is why we might need to leave the request year in the master spreadsheet, not just the number, is because in 3 years, we're gonna have 2 or 3 year numbers
Right.
for each year. And it's gonna be harder. We won't be able to do a selection. You know, if we want to sort by year, we're not gonna be able to do that if all the numbers are different.
So we're saying,
So hold on, there's 2 forms.
Can I ask you can you restate that again?
Yes.
So that my brain can slowly absorb
So can you toggle between, do you have the other document open?
yeah,
Is it easier for you to open that one for a second?
sure. This. This one. Do you want this one or you want the one that's?
Yeah,
filled
no,
out?
that one. So, okay, I thought we were taking request year out, but request year is in there.
Yeah. This is just this is where they can fill in everything for this year below. This would be the things we're looking for.
They're gonna fill out, they are gonna fill this out for 5 years.
They aren't or they are?
They are.
Yeah, it's not,
Yeah.
there's not really too much there. You know, there's.
So Mike, what, I thought we were gonna take out more boxes, more columns to simplify it, but I don't think we should.
But why have the model? Why
Yes,
have the
I
life
think we
year?
need to sit at this
Why
one.
have-
I was stuck on year and request. I thought we were taking request year out.
The only reason they're in there is because that's what the other spreadsheet reads like, and I can copy and paste it right into the spreadsheet because it's there. We could simplify the other spreadsheet too, but I don't know. I'm just
Hold on.
saying,
What is,
Can we,
and I'll show you.
is this the right now you're looking at the 5-year.
Sorry.
yeah, that's the master spreadsheet, the master raw data to me.
See, what I did was I lifted this right here.
But why did we have make and model on there last year?
This is what Brian put together.
Okay,
So I pulled this whole thing out and made that dummy sheet up for each year, and I took away all the things that were in it, except for one as an example of how to fill it out. If we don't think we need all these things in there, that's fine. I'm just saying the one I have, I can just simply copy and paste it right into this without thinking about it.
What I'm thinking is, Eric highlighted 4 specific items data that, 4 columns that we need.
might be 6.
Might be 6, but it's certainly not the model number. It's certainly not how many life years.
Well, do we want to decide
Comments.
right now which ones are on there?
Well, I'm in favor of that, yes.
Okay,
So,
We can simplify this, it's fine.
but don't do it yet. Let's talk about it as a group and then make a motion.
Okay,
I think make, model, and life of years goes away.
correct, I agree.
and what about this one that you
Yeah.
put in called fund? Which has no real value here.
I would make it go away
Okay.
because, well, for what, I would make it go away.
What value does it have? The only value in my mind is if someone is constantly getting funded and they're constantly getting grants and it's up there. Other groups see it, but that's not a motivating factor for me. So I don't think it's necessary. That's the only reason why I could see it being up there. If it's on the form, that might help us play with the priority ranking, but I don't think it's necessary on the master sheet. And same thing, I mean, you can have comments, but it's not necessary for them to put it in.
All right,
Not on the 5-year, on when they sit down and go through this year's needs. That's when funding or comments or whatever becomes germane.
So Eric, are we taking notes on this or are you actually gonna do this now?
I can just do it right now.
Okay, so take out make, model, life, and fund.
Now, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a minute. If it doesn't say what kind of dump truck or plow it is that a problem?
No,
Should at least we have make, we don't need model or years, but we should have at least the
Why do-
Ford pickup truck.
why do we
whatever.
care if it's a Ford? Or
I
if it's
don't, just as an identifier.
Komatsu?
So Linda, in her title, is replace B-60 dump truck, as opposed to B-21.
I think the
plow.
description should be 7 words,
So that this,
not 3. You see how it says dump truck plow in the description?
Yeah.
That could be elongated to say
Okay.
2-yard dump truck.
Ford dump truck.
67
Ford
international.
2-yard dump truck?
I'm just saying, for example, I'm just
So
saying,
this is the example, so I'm trying to just say,
oh, I would look on her form.
and on her form, I think, she refers to B-60,
yes, she
and
does,
she refers to B whatever.
because it's right
But
here.
let's say someone says replace, hey,
See?
what if one of the forms comes back, and I didn't look at them as closely as you did? Refrigerant pump. Okay? Is it in an HVAC unit? Is it in a cooler? Is it part of something? Is it related to something else? We would ask them for more words than refrigerant.
In the
So it
title.
needs to be more
In the
description.
title. And that's what I was trying to get with Eric here is, you've got 2 in there for bleachers. Tell me what school you want
All
the
right,
bleachers
so,
in.
so I agree there needs to
But
be
that
more
belongs in
space
the title.
in the description.
So who's taking notes on like the instructions we give them? Because I think we should ask them to put the vehicle type and the building. For buildings, for building related, it should name the building. The building should be identified.
Okay, so we'll give a couple of examples
Yes,
that would show exactly what we're looking for.
Yes.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
okay, so like with this one, it has the example, I haven't taken the columns out, but we can certainly make that work.
You could put another one for school in there for 2027, just so they know. PS, did we do PS for schools? I forget what we did.
In the,
Yeah, PS.
in the identifier, I have a different thought process I want to throw out at some point.
All right, so this is what you want department description, the request, the cost, the priority, and any comment they might want to make.
Yeah, we don't,
I would remove comment.
hold on, why?
I think the comment gives them.
Because that's where
What if
somebody,
we make a
that's where,
comment and want to write in there?
that's where somebody starts getting very verbose to justify why
Hold on.
these things need to be done now.
That wasn't where I was headed. That should not be on the request form. That comment field is for us.
So leave it off of,
The request form, but on the master spreadsheet, it should be there. Because there may be some reason in 2 years, we want to recall why we made a decision with Linda here that said, hey, I got the grant came in and it's got to be backed up till next year because the state funding's not.
you got it. I'll go along with that.
Okay. So make comment a different color. I really want to push on select board and the town to have administrative support to the committees available.
For us?
Every committee should.
Yeah.
I'm now,
Schools is PS, by the way. It's not SC.
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay. Here's what I would like to suggest. I'm
Yes.
gonna throw this out. The request number. So our request number is gonna be fiscal year, followed by the department code, followed by a unique sequential
Department
number.
number.
And what I'm gonna suggest is that the spreadsheet generate that. And the spreadsheet generate that as a locked field that they can't touch by taking the fiscal year that they've entered in their request, concatenating that with another field that is only these following
Well,
choices that they select, PS for school or BG for buildings and grounds. And then the sequential number is assigned by the computer, and all that's concatenated into a locked field that they can't touch. So the only thing they enter is the year and the department code.
well, Mr. Clerk,
Just,
I
just
totally agree with that.
just like the comment
Well
field
thought
would
out
be
comment.
locked.
I don't know if our spreadsheet operator right now and the rest of the people using these spreadsheets are gonna be able to manage having a locked field that automatically generates the number.
Yeah, well,
They don't have to. Because
beforehand.
we'll color code it so that only the light blue fields they have access to. They can't put anything into the comment field because it's not light blue or green or whatever you want.
And you're saying they can't put in the request, they can't put in the capital project request number.
They can't put in, the computer will generate it. What they can put in is the fiscal year they want it, and what department they want it assigned to.
I get where you're headed, Mike. I just don't think we have the. I don't think we're gonna be able to make that happen.
So wait, before we get
Are you
started.
gonna write the spreadsheet, little formula that goes amongst it and does it? Are you volunteering for that?
It's easy. The sequential number is the only issue I
We can do that. I'm not overwhelmed by that. I think we have to rethink.
I just wonder if the spreadsheet goes to multiple departments, do we really have to worry about that right now?
We can just do something like this.
All right, let's do that.
Right?
Okay.
So that the request number is assigned by us, not by them.
And
So sequentially, we can just put them in and boom, we're done. They don't have to worry about it.
I think they should assign.
Or we can just put this.
Why aren't they assigning it the number? Because they're gonna wanna keep track of, I mean, they're
Or-
coming up with their own capital.
I still think we're back to the other thing. We pre-assign, we put a stack of numbers here.
How do you know how many Eric is gonna do?
Yeah. You know what,
And I don't
let's
think it's
assume
as
our
big an
people are
idea.
smart enough to be able to put the numbers in. Unless we get feedback that it's too much.
let me ask a different question for you two guys.
Yeah.
On the number itself. Do you envision us having 28-PS-001, 28 Fire Department -001,
Yeah,
28 somebody else -001?
yes,
Oh, you do?
yes.
Yeah, each department would have its own numbering system, starting at
Yes.
0, starting at 1. Here's my question. This says, like, I'm trying to put in information on a new air handler, right? I'm just throwing numbers out, I don't know. I don't think FY request is the question. I think we're missing something.
I think your description field needs to be twice as wide.
Yeah.
To give them Your new air handler should be Chestnut Hill, Chambers Brook, Chestnut Hill High School. It needs to have, we want the building in there, town hall. Well, that's not in the school department, but
Sure. JBMS.
Yeah.
Auditorium air handler.
that would be better.
That. I'll fix this in a minute, but. We will make this bigger. Is that a little better? And we can make it so that they stack the words when it comes up to it. Right, did the words wrap around it so it works?
No, I'm just making it wider.
No, it'll automatically get bigger as they need it.
Ah.
This would say,
No, it's gonna keep making the box deeper, not wider.
no, that's why I meant deeper. I'm sorry.
We're getting in the weeds here. Let's,
See, if it's a Ford dump truck plow. I don't know, we'll say, I'm just making it so that,
I think this tab should be an instruction tabs, example and instructions. And then have the second tab be,
see, now it'll look like that. Then make it full of them.
Mr. Chairman, did you hear that?
No, go ahead.
I think we should have an instructions tab,
Yeah,
which has this, plus more instructions down at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then FY 27 is the next tab, that's this, but blank, with no examples in it.
all right, so I'm gonna have to fill around with this thing, but we'll get it right.
okay. Your fourth column in is FY request.
Which doesn't really,
Is that the original?
Yeah.
Or the current?
year requested,
No, it's both. So it's gonna be, for the new ones, it's gonna be the year they wanted it. For the ones that got reorganized, they're gonna change the FY request to the year they wanna request it.
okay, we'll change this number to it.
So are you suggesting this might be 27 PS 001, but now it's a
29.
29 number here? Then I'm good with that. That makes sense to me.
Because if it doesn't get funded this year, and it may not get funded next year, she's gonna resubmit it
Yeah, so.
for 29 and make it a
so
high
make-
priority.
Make that 2029 showing that you originally asked for it in 2027, but we're now saying, let's do it in 2029.
But we don't want that in here. This is our example.
Yeah, but in the
He
example.
is trying to
you
show
would
them
Demonstrate
that-
that these two don't.
that there may be a
necessarily-
disconnect between the
Have to
year and the
agree.
capital request number and the request year. I think these two groups understand it.
Oh, then what we should do is,
Current request, or current fiscal year request, or I don't, latest, I don't know. But just for the example, make this 2028.
no, we should make it,
Or 30, whatever, something's.
we're, taking an old one and moving it up, you know?
The old number this is what shows you the original
Yeah.
date.
That's not, yeah. So she's moving it to a new year now, so it's, or Eric is moving it to a new year now, so it can't be in the past.
Right.
That's for our benefit. When we make the final report that has 5 years listed, we sort it by column D, not by column A.
Correct.
So it is, maybe that's what it's as simple as,
That? Oops, sorry, these small dates. Are we just talking about the fiscal year they're requesting it in?
Yes,
So that's right there.
right. And then for an example.
Yep.
Put in 2029 in your example. Okay?
Yep. All right, well, there's gonna be some massaging of this, but
And to me, this is all that they need to fill out for fiscal year 28, 29, 30, 31.
I think we need. We're done right now. I can do that. I like the idea of identifying the model or something like that, whatever it is. I think there's, I guess it doesn't matter. If it says Ford dump truck, that's the model, that's fine. All right, I can do that.
Or maybe in parentheses, put B-60. Because that's how she identifies her vehicle.
Is that the name of, is that the number?
Yeah,
of the model?
Belchertown 60 versus, well, let's look at her list.
Sorry, or something wrong.
There you go. Where's her list?
How about, item and then description? We had one column back. One is the item, whatever it is, and the other, second part is the description. $5.30.
Right. So he does it this way. This request is to replace B6, a 2011 F-350. I don't know what DRW is. Oh, no, I don't know what DRW is. What do you think? Do we just tell them, do we give them a big, long title block?
I think it should be something like this.
Or do we give a separate column to say that it's Jabesh Brook or that it's the,
I
The
think
red-
the description
the red
should be long
Ford.
enough. I don't think there should be an item and model number,
okay,
because that's when we're sitting down with them, right?
I agree.
Except,
Let's identify.
let's think about this for a minute though. When we're at that meeting, prioritizing with them, how much information do we want in front of us?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think we need some.
When we're
identifier.
cross-department prioritizing, not individual department, right? Because they give us their priorities. And then we're gonna combine and reshuffle. So whether we know the model number of the truck or anything else, is it?
I don't think it's that critical.
Is it important enough as an identifier in conversation? Oh, that's the old whatever, that's the unit on top of Jabesh. So it would be,
What's important to me is when Linda says, this is the truck that I've been asking for 2 years. And it's the one that I'm afraid to put on the road because the front axle is gonna fall off.
so this would be,
You know, but that's when we're
Our job
prioritizing.
is
and
kind of
thinking,
like, I don't know if our job is involved with, she brought up that, well, I forget who the DPW super is.
Chris
Greg?
Lorenzo,
Chris?
Chris
What's it, Greg?
Lorenzo.
Oh,
Or
is there
Matt.
a Greg? Is there a Greg?
No,
Confusing. Okay, so Chris made a funny comment that they needed the dump truck since the inception of time.
That is B6. Go ahead.
Well, as a manager, I would argue to say if you've been living without it for 6 years, we would justify why you really need it, because you just keep pushing it forward and you keep living without it. Do you follow me?
I follow you exactly.
I don't know where to go.
You think that's too much the way it sits?
Yeah, because what if it's building front steps? That's not a model number.
That's why I said item. We can take it out, I just think it helps a little bit as an identifier. Oh, we're talking about the area and we're up on, but I guess the description can handle that, so I'll go with your logic.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think take it out. I think give them room to put in a good descriptor. When they submit it, if there is confusion in our mind, or we need more detail, like what air handler or whatever, we can say, change the title. Or
Could I-
add that into the title.
Could I take,
And they will learn to give
Yes.
us the data.
could I take a step back for 1 second and say, I'm running out of steam,
Okay.
and what are we, is this the only document we're sending out?
I have an idea with regards to this.
Hold on, are we sending out this document before the next meeting?
Yes,
Yes, we're sending out for the next meeting. I would like to play with it when you're done. If you
I would
don't
like
mind.
all 3 of us to see it
I think we need to meet next week or the week after. one day.
Okay,
before it goes out.
correct.
Yes. I'm,
Even if it's just for a half hour.
Fine.
which I think, I'm actually leaning towards next week when we pull it on. What day would that be?
All right,
We're not there
we're
yet.
not there yet.
Okay.
We were going to go back and fix the request form so that the information matches this form.
Right. But I'm not 100%.
I don't think it's immediately necessary, but I think if we're having a meeting solely about forms, I mean, I don't know how perspective you guys get, but I think that form didn't look good. I think there's information from it missing that would make it easier to fill out. And I don't know how far people want to go with that type of.
What information do you think is missing?
Well, just like the way it's formatted. So I would color the 4 boxes that go on the other form for future years, where they go, and they don't need it this year, but what we talked about.
Is there additional information that needs to be added to
No,
the
but-
form? Is there-
I don't think there's additional information.
Okay,
No.
I want
I
to
would
make sure.
just
I'm clear.
reformat it so it's more visually simpler to understand.
All right. I agree with you.
Okay. So we could just do that at the next meeting.
We'll do that at the next meeting. Let's
You want to
meet.
simplify that?
Okay.
The request form?
Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't want it smaller. I think it's fine the way they filled it out, just like that. But for instance, the name of the form up at the top looks like it's a request for information box. That should be wired and going across the middle, center justified, larger font,
All
different
right, so you want
colors.
to go over this at the next
for
meeting?
instance. That's what Mike was going to suggest.
Right, I'm going to suggest that the 3 of us sit down next week.
Yeah.
We go through and we reformat this, however, we play with it. And we solidify the 5-year
Right, I'll make that, I'll clean that up.
spreadsheet with only a little bit of,
So do you want me to do anything to this before next week?
what's this?
This sheet?
That's the request form.
The request form? No,
Because I can sit down once and take some stuff out and it doesn't take very long.
that's this.
Yep.
I don't know. Next week, we'll
Okay.
play around with it. I'm gonna play around with it in my own spare time. You can play around with it in your own spare time, and next week,
It's fine.
you take magic
Okay.
markers to it, I don't care.
Okay.
Same thing with the 5-year spreadsheet. Next week, we're gonna finalize it. Give it to Steve and say, Steve, submit, tell your departments, this is all we're looking for.
Well, what we're doing with that form is more for next year and going forward. Because they've
Okay.
already submitted.
So, before I make a motion to adjourn,
So we are on item 6, confirm next meeting date.
The 22nd, I will not be back in town until after 5.
Is that a Wednesday?
That's the Wednesday. I could do 5 to 6.
I could do any time Wednesday.
Okay, so wait, say it again.
When would you like
Next
to meet,
Wednesday.
Mr. Chairman?
Next Wednesday,
He's not available during the day.
during the 4 o'clock time slot. You want to meet at 7?
You want to meet in the morning? Can you,
Like,
are you after 4? Is that your typical?
I'm just, yeah, that would work better.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as I look at my calendar.
What's the earliest on the 22nd?
Or
Evening.
23rd for that matter.
I could do 5.
5 o'clock on Wednesday?
That's
Is it
doable.
1 second through, like, some-
Yes, that would be helpful.
Sure.
My eyes are tired.
Okay.
Daylight,
All right.
5 PM.
5 PM, and the only thing we're gonna talk about is
Forms.
approving the minutes of this meeting and the 2 forms,
Yep,
Yes,
and setting the next meeting date.
yep.
yes, Mr. Clerk. I believe the following, we should have a meeting on the agenda for a month from now.
Yes. That should already be set.
The agenda hasn't been written.
No, we were saying we're gonna meet whatever day,
The
whatever.
third Wednesday, the second
Third
Wednesday.
Wednesday, so we
The
can.
third Wednesday of every month.
I cannot lock in a meeting date until I've submitted a written agenda for that date.
That's partially untrue.
Is
You
it?
can- No, you can lock in a date for the meeting, long going. You have to have it posted during each week when you're gonna run it.
Yeah,
But
it
you can
doesn't
say-
happen. It's a
But you can
two-step,
say that we'll
it's a
meet-
two-step process.
Yeah, there's a third
It's a
Wednesday.
planning board, you meet on set dates, Monday and Wednesday, first and second weeks.
Right.
So you can do that with this meeting.
Yeah, you can
And
do
then if
it,
you fill in
but
an
it's not
intermediate,
official
that's
until
fine.
you post it.
Yes. I just mean we're reserving this room at this time.
It's
For the
been,
next year.
it's been
That's
reserved.
what we're
The
talking.
room has been reserved.
And I think in our own personal
It doesn't
calendars.
show up on the belchertown.org calendar until there's an agenda, is what I've been told.
Oh, because on the website, on IQE's website, it says on their meetings first Wednesday of the month.
Correct. There's a difference between saying.
So it's a multi-track. Yeah, it's a multi-track.
Okay, if you go to the calendar,
Before I adjourn,
all right,
are we okay keeping that? Because I struggle a little bit, like I can't do Tuesday and Thursday nights. And like the first Wednesday of the month, so my calendar's a little bit more difficult.
Are you saying Wednesday
Then I
more
feel it.
difficult for you, or?
No, I'm just saying, if we're adding additional meetings a week or more's notice, it's easier for me. So if we're feeling like January, we're gonna need a slew of meetings, that sometimes we should do it. And the only other update we didn't get before I make a motion to adjourn is new members.
Oh, I have that. They have not gotten any, whatever, submissions or whatever.
Okay.
I've asked probably 6 people, but.
Motion to adjourn.
okay, at 5:43, I hear a motion to adjourn. I'll second that motion. There is no